Welcome to Bunkai Gaming. So I want to talk about Battlefield Hardline and the DLCs or Premium. So with the release of Battlefield Hardline only days away, I want to talk about the fact that people are still viewing Hardline not as a true Battlefield game. They seem to have this perception that this isn't a true Battlefield game. They seem to view it that the game is just a reskin of Battlefield 4 and 3 and isn't a true game in the Battlefield series. You'll find more often than not people are very adverse to change. So when you take something that they really love and enjoy and change it from what they think is something great in their minds, they instantly resist that change, and they can be very negative about it. But has Visceral really changed the game that much? I don't honestly think so. A great deal of the change they have included in the game is for the better, and this will not only benefit the current Battlefield series, but all the future Battlefield series as such. And why is this? Well, Visceral has brought a fresh perspective to the game. They're not tied to the series like DICE, and this has allowed them more freedom. When you're close to something, it's sometimes hard to see or make changes to that thing because you've worked so hard on it, and because you have set ideas on how it should be and how it should play. And that is the issue in regards to DICE. They have a very difficult time making those changes. So Visceral isn't tied to the same limitations that DICE is. It's allowed to give them their perspective and allowed to drive things in the direction they've wanted to go. And I think this is something great. So let's have a look at some of these changes. There's a more specific class system, which is probably more similar to Battlefield Bad Company 2. They have multiple loadouts per class now. They have unique game modes that fit well into the series. I especially love the Hotwire mode, and I'm really looking forward to trying some of the other modes. The purchase system to unlock weapons whenever you're ready. This is something great. It's no longer the progression of going through levels and then unlocking a weapon. And also, there's the reduction of explosive spam, something that's plaguing Battlefield 4 at the moment. They've also retweaked the weapons, and I think the focus is more on gunplay than it is over anything else. So in my eyes, I think this is going to be one of the most stable releases of Battlefield ever. And I feel Visceral is working extremely hard to make sure that these issues, when they come up, will be resolved as soon as possible. I think with Visceral and EA taking a much active role listening to the community, it's important to give them the feedback so that they can make the changes and make a great game for us to all play. I think one area where I feel EA has taken a bit of a backward step is Premium for Hardline. It certainly created a backlash due to the news that players will be given advantages or part of the games if you're a premium member. And I think this is a mistake, and I hope that they change their minds in regards to this. In my eyes, premium should be cosmetic stuff like camos, customization of players, even customization of weapons, even new weapons, or advantages or boosts for progression or prestiges. I think that's something that should be part of premium. Game modes and maps shouldn't be. These should be available to all players. And I think Vince Apelli recently tweeted out that he would like to make all maps available for Titanfall 2 for free. I think EA should take note of this, and I think there's far too much of a divide between the community because of the fact that there's these premium members that have access to certain maps, and then you have the non-premium members that don't have access to it. And I think this honestly hurts the game more than it actually helps it. But one thing I think that needs to be really addressed, and I think not only in the Battlefield series but in other first-person shooter games, is the focus on objective gameplay. I feel that this has been lost, and as they've focused on the casual player base, I feel that we've lost that focus on objective gameplay. And I think it should be fostered, and the growth of playing objectively has to start with the developer. If it doesn't, then it won't be fostered within the community. So if you're still on the fence about Hardline, wait until after the release, see what it has to offer. But really take a step backwards and honestly ask yourself, what is it you don't like about the game? And you may come to the realization that a lot of those doubts you had about it are not valid doubts, and that the game is going to be really great. I know I'll be out there playing it from day one, so thank you very much, and I hope to see you out there playing Battlefield Hardline.